Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to pop in and talk about something that's going viral. It wasn't my next planned topic, but that seems to be the way things go around here on my channel. I just kind of talk about whatever is put on my heart. And this morning when I woke up, I had it put on my heart to talk about the latest viral thing that's basically taken over my newsfeed on Facebook and seems to be taking over YouTube, at least people I follow. And I want to jump in and talk about this because of my favorite topic, narcissists and relationships and so forth. And what am I even talking about? I'm talking about the latest scandal with the relationship coach, Derrick Jaxn. Okay. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because it is in my humblest opinion that Derrick Jaxn just might be a narcissist. Now, I know he has a lot of fans and a lot of followers, and someone might jump on here and throw ad hominems at me and call me names and attack me and not agree with what I'm about to say, but that's okay because I don't say things to get people to like me or agree with me. I say things that are put on my heart and I say what I feel. And that's what I'm about to do, okay? So sorry if this offends anybody, but I want to point out the reasons or my personal observations. And again, as many of you have seen, I have a video about being married to a malignant narcissist in my past. I have experience with living life married to a narcissist, and being that I have this when I see relationships like this, it resonates with me, right? So I can't help but identify with some of the things that I see. Now, I don't feel that Derrick Jaxn is a malignant narcissist. I could be wrong. I don't live with him. I don't know the man. This is just based on my few observations. And it doesn't take long to look at a situation and make observations, right? And I'm not diagnosing him. These are just my opinions. And that's what we talk about on YouTube, our opinions, right? We have healthy discussions, healthy dialogue. If you don't agree, that's fine. Just post your comments below respectfully, and I'll respectfully respond. If you do agree, that's fine too. Post your comments and opinions below, and we can have a respectful discussion. And that's what I think YouTube should be about, having respectful discussions, sharing dialogue, sharing our opinions. I won't disrespect you. Please don't come on here and disrespect me, because people have been doing that lately, and I'm just going to start blocking folks. Because it's just so uncalled for. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Let me give you some characteristics of somatic narcissists. And I could be wrong, but Derrick might fall into the category of a somatic narcissist. Okay? This is just my humble opinion. But a somatic narcissist is someone that is usually never faithful, usually has multiple sexual partners, someone that's usually hypersexual, someone that is fixated on their physical appearance, someone that in some cases is addicted to porn. I don't know if he is or not. We don't know that, but that's just one of the characteristics you might find in narcissists. These people might be models, personal trainers, bodybuilders, athletes. Well, when you think of Derrick Jaxn's image as a relationship guru, he has built this image around the way he looks, right? He'll have modeling pictures with his shirt off. He will, appeal to women, his women followers, by having his provocative images of himself, his muscles showing, his tight clothes to show the outline of his body. They're very sexual, right? Don't tell me I'm lying, because I'm not. And that's why being married and having good for his image because he's supposedly a relationship guru, but it's bad for his image because he has so many women followers that fantasize that he's the perfect guy and he'd be the perfect husband and he'd be the perfect boyfriend. And oh my gosh, he's so fine. And look at him without that shirt on, honey. He is gorgeous. You know, so that's what he's built his entire empire around. So in my mind, I think he could be a somatic narcissist. All right. He gives the impression that he's available. Like, over the years, he's never really put his wife in the spotlight with him. In my mind, when you are married, the two become one. Okay? So that person, your spouse, is part of you. The two become one. Well, he says, well, it's been for privacy reasons. I did a whole video on this about the mind games that narcissists play with social media, and that is one thing I quote in there. Go back and watch it. I said this, that a narcissist will play that social media mind game and say they'll keep their mate purposely off social media because of privacy reasons. They want to keep that private. Okay, I get it. Some people are super ultra private, but you're not that private because you have millions of followers. How can you be private when you put yourself in the public eye? So if you want to have that kind of life and you are in fact married, I'm sorry, but you should represent yourself honestly, and your wife should be part of that. You don't have to be, in having her in every video or not, but you are a unit. You're not a single man anymore. You don't need to be having your pictures all over the place, representing yourself as an available man. A lot of his followers didn't even know he was married. I don't know how closely they follow him. Now, my personal experience with Derrick Jaxn, or as far as being a follower, I'm not a follower of Derrick Jaxn. Years ago, there's when he first came on the scene, I would watch a few of his videos as they would pop up in my social media, and I do follow him on Facebook, but he rarely ever pops up in my news feed. But I caught one of his videos, I want to say, or one of his posts, or something happened to where he had a baby at some point, and literally, and I don't even remember how it came up. So one of his followers brought it up, or if he brought it up, I can't remember because it was so many years ago, but it was when he had one of his children. And it was kind of like he was trying to keep that part of his life separate. I don't know if he was married to her yet or not, but it rubbed me the wrong way because I thought to myself, this man's living a double life. In my mind, you're supposed to be a relationship guru. You give all this advice to people, but it seems like you have that part of your life tucked away, securely locked away from the public for privacy reasons. But how did that work out for you? Because all these years that you had your wifey boo and all that locked away for privacy reasons, you've been running around sprinkling the world with your seed, cheating with multiple women, asking women that's in you, tell you what kind of drawers they have on, sleeping with women in your wife's bed. I mean, how did that work out for you when you was hiding your wife from the world for privacy reasons? See, I don't buy that. I just don't buy that whole privacy reason thing. I don't think you should put your business out there publicly when you're married, like tell the world all your business, or like they're doing now. But the world should be fully aware that you're married. You should honor your wife publicly. A picture of you and your wife should be on your profile. You have millions of women followers. Why do you have a picture of just you on your profile? Why can't you have a picture of you and your wife? You're a unit. You're no longer single. Why are you wrapping yourself as a single man? But it's the illusion of selling yourself as an available man with all this knowledge. I'm a relationship guru. I'm so, desirable. And Some of my followers may know about my life. Some of them might not. I could tell them anything. Like, say I run into one of my followers out in public, and I have an opportunity to cheat. I can tell them anything. Like, oh, me and my wife aren't on good terms. We're going through a divorce, and I can go run around and cheat with them, and then tuck them away to the side, and no one will ever know the difference because my marriage is so private. See, that gives them so much opportunity to do their dirt. That's how narcissists operate. Now, one would ask, why is he even married? He clearly wasn't ready to get married because he's been cheating for so many years. Well, that's what makes me think too he's a narcissist, because a narcissist will definitely have a spouse, because they need a main source of supply. They need a constant source of supply, giving them supply every day. Then they'll have women or men in their harem garage, giving them the backup source of supply. But it's very, very common for them to have a main source of supply, which would be a spouse. Another thing I would say, I watched their video of coming and explaining to the world about their situation yesterday, and the only thing that kept coming to my mind is trauma bond. And the reason why I say that is because they were talking about how they've been together on and off for 12 years. They would break up, make up, they'd have ups and downs in their relationship. Well, all that has done is created a toxic environment, and it's created a trauma bond, because you've had that positive intermittent reinforcement, and you've created an attachment by your constant ups and downs, by your constant breakups and makeups, and and I talk about that in so many videos. But they definitely have a trauma bond. And I'm sure, with the oxytocin and so forth and so on, she's really trauma bonded to him. Why she would choose to stay in that situation, she's putting it on spirituality, which, again, I have a video about toxic spirituality. I believe this is a situation with toxic spirituality, because I don't believe God would ordain something like that. God wouldn't ordain you to be in a situation like that, where you're constantly being cheated on and disrespected, and your husband is bringing other women into your marital bed. Now, another thing I noticed with her is she would refer to this current situation she's in with her husband as a new marriage, and then all the bad things happened in the old marriage, which was literally last year. That was the old marriage. So she's managed to compartmentalize the two, so that way she doesn't have to face the anxiety and the trauma, and she doesn't have to reconcile them together. She can look at them as two separate entities. Well, that happens in the old marriage. We're in a new marriage now. So she's compartmentalized. It's kind of almost like disassociation to a lesser degree. Research compartmentalization. That's what I feel like she's done. It's the same man. Now, I do believe, I am a Christian 100%. I do believe that you can be changed by God. There is a renewing when you are a born again Christian or you are saved. I just don't honestly believe in my heart of heart that's what's happening in this situation. What I believe is happening, again, is toxic spirituality is blinding her. And she's compartmentalized the situation. And she's in a trauma bond. And he's taking full advantage of it. I've been through this when I was in my marriage with my malignant narcissist, when he would mess up and go put me through complete torture. He knew that I was a very spiritual person. I was very religious, I would say, because I was constantly going to church and so forth. And he would go through this period of renewal where he would want to go with me, and he was signing up for Bible studies, and he would jump on the train with me because he knew that's what I wanted. That was my innermost desire, to have a God-fearing spouse, to have a spouse that was on board with me spiritually. And that's what he would do. He would 100% do the same thing I'm seeing going on here, same dynamic. he would totally do it until the mask slipped again. That's exactly what I'm saying here. That's why I'm saying I'm pretty sure we're dealing with a narcissist. Maybe not malignant to where you have violence going on. I don't know if they do or not. Like I said, I think Derrick's more of a somatic narcissist, but definitely a narcissist. And he's using her faith, her strong faith, which she clearly has, to manipulate the situation and manipulate her. It's really sad. It's really tragic. It's kind of hard. Something like this. I mean, I just have to speak on it. I am not a Derrick Jaxn fan, nor am I a Derrick Jaxn hater. I really don't even care. I don't like follow his videos. Like I said, I've followed his page and I've seen a few of his videos pop up in my newsfeed over the years. I do know that he preaches against everything he's doing, but that's what narcissists do. They have a persona that they portray to the world, and then they have the truth, the reality of who they are. So being that he's not lived up to his on-stage persona is totally not surprising whatsoever in a situation. Because I do believe notice how he was really promoting his book when they were coming out to tell the world about, you know, this situation, and it was her idea to get on a live and tell her side, and he was like promoting his book. To him, this is just another way to get free publicity. Like, he's totally spun it to his advantage, and I believe this whole thing is to do damage control to protect his brand, because he has to save his marriage if she leaves him. I mean, his whole brand is at risk. His whole brand is at risk because he can't have a failed marriage under his belt when he's supposed to be a relationship guru, telling other people how to have successful relationships. On top of that, his wife is entitled to everything he's built. I don't know if they're in a community property state or not, but she's entitled to a lot of what he's earned, you know, during the time they've been together. They've been together since college. They've been married, I don't know, 4 years. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not following it that closely. I'm just doing a very light, high-level review of the situation. But, you know, she's going to be in his pockets, and that's going to hurt. So he has to swiftly do some damage control. He's going to do whatever he can to make sure he gets some damage control done. And to make it feel like it's her idea to swoop in and save the day and do damage control. Maybe it is her idea to do that because she has to protect his brand too. She eats off the same plate. So I just wanted to say I thought it was real interesting how he's taking this and using it to his advantage to promote his book during this crisis. Very crazy. And let me see. Oh, the other thing I thought was really interesting. I had to write some of my little thoughts down. What I really thought was interesting is the way they were dressed in this video. Like, I mean, he was nicely dressed, he looked well put together, but I mean, no offense to the sister. I think she's beautiful. I do. And I really love her spirituality. I really do. I think it's beautiful. But I didn't like, it gave me Chris and Paige vibes. For instance, if you watch Married at First Sight, think of the time where Chris and Mercedes went to meet Paige. Chris being the narcissist, Mercedes being the narcissist baby mama, meeting the wife, Paige. Paige was dressed down. Chris and the baby mama were dressed up. And that's kind of how I felt like the vibe on the video was. She was kind of dressed down. And he was not dressed up, but he looked more presentable. Like I mean, she looked like this was like an afterthought, like a last minute idea. Hey, let's just hop on this live real quick. And she just threw something over her hair and threw some clothes on. Now, I'm not even into makeup myself. Like, I have no makeup on. So I have on some lip gloss and a teeny bit of eye makeup. So I'm not even into makeup. I don't expect her to wear makeup or anything. But what I'm saying is you could tell a difference. So I don't know if that was her idea or his idea to keep her kind of in her place or keep her in an inferior place, or if it was her idea. She's like an around the way chick. Kind of like me. I mean, I'm very plain. I ain't gonna lie. Unless I want to be extra that day. But you could tell the stark difference, you know. I'm still trying to figure out what that was all about. But it gave me Kristen Page vibes. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't know if any of you can tell me what you think that meant. It was very strange. But I know she can be beautiful. I saw wedding pictures, and I still think she is beautiful. I'm just saying you could tell the difference. You could tell the difference. And I'm trying to figure out what that's all about. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. I don't think so. Oh, you know what? I did hear that, I don't know if this is true or not. I've heard around, bits and pieces from people that she had some trauma in her past. Maybe they were speaking about the way she was traumatized by this relationship and she had to get through that. I mean, yeah, this is very traumatizing to have people constantly coming to you, showing you pictures of things your husband's doing with other women. Or I don't know if she's had trauma in her past, but again, like I said, that's what puts you in a prime position for being in an abusive relationship. And he might not be abusing her physically, but it's definitely emotionally abusive what he's doing to her. There's no doubt about that. Like, there's no even debating that. The other thing is, I did also hear that one of his relationships in the past, this was some tea on the street, that he, on Tasha K's channel, give her credit for that, for spilling that tea, allegedly got some doctor pregnant and forced her to have an abortion. That's a lot to overcome as a wife. That's a lot to overcome as a wife. So that's a lot of trauma that he's heaping on her. Now, she said that God has helped her overcome the trauma. She's thrown her burdens on the Lord. And I believe in healing. I believe God can heal. But at the same time, he's exploiting that. That's how I feel about it. And I feel like you really need to work through those traumas. You need to work through those traumas. Like God meets us halfway kind of thing. Like, he can take away our pain and he can release our burdens. But when you stay in a situation with someone that's constantly abusing you, and I just don't feel like his transformation is genuine. She's setting herself up. I don't even know how to really put that, but I'm concerned for the situation. So let's keep our eyes out. He's supposedly going to include her more in the future, cause like I said, he has to save his brand, and now everybody knows about her, and now, everybody's going to be wanting to see more of her, and they'll just spin it and try to make his brand more successful by integrating her into future projects, I guess. We'll see how that goes, but I really do hope and pray that he can start to be faithful in the future. What he's doing and been doing to her is very unacceptable, very traumatic. It's going to be traumatic for their children as well. So I do pray for the best. I want to end it on that note, but I did want to make my observations. We might be dealing with a somatic narcissist. That's my 2 cents. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Post them below. Like I said, if you're coming on here to insult me, which some of y'all been doing, I'm just going to block you because that's not productive. And it's really off track. We're here to discuss things as we see them. We don't have to agree, and that's fine. But let me know what you think, okay, without attacking me. Thanks for listening. I want you to have a great rest of your day. I might be back a little bit later with another topic I wanted to talk about today, which is a little bit shorter. But again, this kind of interrupted my thoughts, so I just wanted to drop this in here. And we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.